Welcome to episode 4 of Transition Takes, the show that threw a heat pack at a cop and received no punishment for it. Thank you for tuning in. If you end up enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I would like to thank the sponsor of today's episode, DUBBY, your taste bud's favorite energy drink. Today I'm not drinking any DUBBY because it hasn't come in the mail. But you can still use code XMASON at checkout for 10% off your order today. This is guaranteed to be our best show yet.
Hopefully.
Low standard since it's only been 4 episodes, but it is going to be the best show yet. I couldn't be more excited. Of course, we will be talking about some NBA playoffs. We have NFL over-unders to get to. We're going back to high school with a little bit of Would You Rather and a brand new segment later in the show. Devin, I ask again, and hopefully...
I'm going to answer the same. Just go on.
I ask again with a hopefully better answer. What do you have going on in your life?
Insert the clip from the last two videos. 2 pods.
What did you say? I can't remember.
I think it was along the lines of working and watching hoops.
Working and watching hoops.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you watch your hoops?
I watch my hoops in my room.
In your room?
Yeah.
You don't have like a man cave or something?
Nah.
No? How big is the TV in your room?
Like 25 inches. I just
No
watch,
shot.
I just watch it on my monitor.
You watch basketball on that?
Yeah. Well, I don't have a TV.
Wow.
But if I want to chill in bed, I watch it on my laptop.
Not to like show income status here or anything, but I have a 75-inch TV right behind us, and I have a 65-inch
Yeah,
TV
look
in
how
my
good
bedroom.
that 75-inch is doing you.
Dude, it's airplay. Okay, I'll be honest, this time around I don't really have much going on in my life either. Just work and hanging out with my kiddo. So, without further ado, actually, you know what? We're going to take a second here to let Alex get some screen time. Alex, come over here, buddy.
Per request.
Alex, bring it in,
Alex,
brother.
Screen time.
Yes, it was highly requested for Alex to get some screen time. Alex, what do you have going on in your life?
Dude, I got a lot going on in my life right now.
That's good, aim. What do you got going?
I got a trip to Seattle coming.
Oh, you got that confirmed.
I got that confirmed today.
That's fantastic.
Going to Seattle.
When it was like the 18th or something, right?
They're flying me out the 16th, and then I won't return till the 22nd.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hardcore trip.
Good
It
aim.
is.
Are you getting paid for this one?
Not paid, but they are paying for my
expenses
travel.
to go. That's really awesome.
Shout
Yeah.
out Monster.
Monster. We can't shout out Monster in a DUBBY sponsor
Facts.
interview.
Shout out Monster, but still use code DUBBY.
It's not okay. This is why he's behind the camera.
Whoa. Code Mason. X Mason.
Mason. There
All
we
right.
go.
Go back to your spot. It was good hearing
This
from
is
you,
why I
Alex.
stay behind the camera.
Yeah, it was good hearing from you, brother. Let's get into some sports, Devin, shall we?
Yeah. Let's
You sound excited.
I'm very
All right.
excited.
We're going to start off, of course, with some NBA playoffs. We're opening it up with Mavs versus Thunder. Thunder currently up 1-0. Devin and I are going to keep each other honest. We already said and gave each other our predictions prior to knowing the result of the first game. But I still ask you, Devin, what is your prediction for this series?
Thunder in 6.
6, so you settled on 6.
Yes. I
'Cause
know
you were torn between 5 and 6
Yes.
before.
I think that Kyrie still played efficient. I think we have to get a 1 or 2 Luka games in these playoffs. We haven't really gotten them yet, so I'm just counting on those 2 games to be the win that they get. But the Thunder looked really good last night, and Shea wasn't even efficient.
Do you think the Thunder are just head and shoulders a better team?
I don't think
than
they're head and shoulders a better team. I think they're a better coached team. They're a deeper team.
I don't love Jason Kidd.
And I do think that their star their star is also a defender, so you don't have to worry about him on that side of the floor. And they haven't shown me anything to not think that they're going to win. The Mavs have shown me some bad things in these playoffs. What about you? I forget what you said.
I said Mavs in 6,
Okay.
and I expect them to lose game 1. They lost game 1 against the Clippers. They actually consistently have lost game 1 since they've got Luka, and they're 3-1 in series where they lose game 1. There was a series where they went up 2-0 and lost. So being down 0-1 isn't something I'm overly worried about. Shea is a great player, but Luka is still the best player in the series. The wing defenders of Dallas, Kleba is obviously a big loss.
Probably out the rest of the playoffs.
Right, that's obviously a huge loss, and I don't love their coach, but I think I picked the Mavs to go to the finals. I think this is the year that Luka makes the finals and wins the finals and kind of solidifies himself as kind of what happened to Jokic last year. Like, everyone thought he
Mm-hmm.
was great, but once he won that title, like, it was just a tsunami wave of everyone like, oh, he's the greatest player ever, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, something similar to that. Kyrie's been struggling mightily in first halves, and then in the second half has been excellent, which I find to be a little odd. But I just think that Dallas is a better team overall, and I think that the Thunder's age, the Thunder doing what they're doing currently is resetting history, and I don't think that will go on for very long. It's literally never happened before, so I think that I'm very confident in Mavs in 6. Not to mention the fact that Luka played as bad as he did, and it was a game for most of the game. Dallas was there, and then at the end, OKC just stopped missing shots, which more power to them.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe is cracked.
Yeah, they're a very good basketball team. I just think the age will eventually catch up to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm wrong, then that's honestly I'd be perfectly fine with being wrong, because you have a team that's that young with as many assets as they do. They're going to be a fantastic watch for years to come.
Yeah.
So I'd be perfectly fine with being wrong. I just don't think I'm going to end up being wrong.
And J-Dub in that fourth quarter was electric.
Yeah, and he struggled up until that point, too.
And then for no reason, he just ran at the rim and didn't miss, and then he was, I don't know.
Sometimes, I think people kind of forget just how good these players actually are.
Yeah.
So at any given moment when they make 8 straight, it's like, holy smokes. It's like yeah.
No, yeah, that's what they get paid to do.
This dude has shot 1,000,000 times in his life. Like, this is what he does.
Yeah.
So quickly now we're going to move on to Pacers-Knicks. Game 2 just ended 20 minutes ago. Knicks are up 2-0. Devin, I ask you once more, what's your pick?
Knicks fit in 5.
5.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm pretty positive.
I thought you said 6, but 5, 6.
I think I said 6 for this one. For this one. But it was 5 or 6. I don't. Either way, I had Knicks winning. The only thing, the OG Anunoby injury could actually hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Because he slows down the offense.
Their injuries are starting to pile up. Those are that's one of the main problems with Tibb coach teams, man. Like, it's great and everybody gives so many flowers. This guy plays 48 minutes a game. It's like, yeah, man, there's a reason NBA players don't do that.
Yeah. Like that there's a reason players only do that in literal win or go home games.
Yeah, like Jimmy did in the finals, or LeBron has done several times in his career. Like, especially Brunson's 6'1", 6'2".
That's generous.
Right. Like, and he's driving into the paint every possession against these 7-foot monsters. There's a reason NBA players don't play that.
And Josh Hart is full speed, 110% the whole time.
Josh Hart's probably my new favorite player. I've always had kind of because I'm a shorter individual, I'm like 5'8". I've always had a kind of height. What's the word? Like
you're drawn to the shorter players?
Yeah, like it impresses me more when Isaiah Thomas, the 5'8" version, drops 50 than when LeBron does.
5'9".
My bad. Because it's just cool to see. And a 6'4" player averaging 14 rebounds a game. He's one of my new favorite players. I'm gonna buy a Knicks jersey, and it's gonna be
I think he's a top 5 rebounder in the league.
That's probably true.
Probably top 3. Off the top of my head, it's like Drummond. He's probably a better rebounder.
Pound for pound, he's the best.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would say so. There's just some centers that are really good at it, but for him to be averaging that at that size, yeah.
It's really impressive. I don't. Halliburton was knocking on the door of being a superstar, and then he got hurt, kept playing because he wanted the match contract. More power to him. Scoring 6 points in game 1, and then having 5 shots in the second half of game 2 for your best player. Yeah. Both games winnable, by the way, is just unacceptable. You can't let that happen.
Yeah, if they want to do something in the Eastern Conference, they need another guy. They might need to go get PG or something. Like, they need another guy.
Little PG home reunion, that would be sick.
Even though he got booed last time he went back.
Yeah, he'll never go back, but that would be something.
No, I'm pretty sure he said he wouldn't. He loves Indiana still and stuff like that. I think it's more the fans than him.
That would be really cool, and Indiana would welcome him back.
Yeah, with open arms.
The fans booed LeBron at one point, and then he came back, and they
won the first championship. Yeah.
I put a note in here saying that I think Brunson was going to average 40. kind of got killed since he got hurt this game.
I mean, he
and
still
missed.
put up 30 something. No.
No, I don't think it was that much. But I know he scored 40 in game 1. Or yeah, it was 40 because he had a consecutive game streak of 40 that got extended. I don't think the Knicks will blow out a single team the entire playoffs. They're just not built that way.
The team to do that too was the Sixers.
Yeah, because they can get hot and cold.
Yeah.
My bold prediction that I don't know necessarily how bold it is. All right, so I'm going to backtrack what I said in the first segment about Dallas. All right, I'm going to make this really bold. I got the Knicks winning the finals. 0-4 Pistons run. They're winning the finals.
I'd be fine with it. Anybody but the Celtics and Nuggets.
The thing about the Celtics, they're going to sweep or gentlemen sweep the Cavs. The Knicks, I think, are going to win in 6, like I said. And they've been battle-tested, and they're going to be worn out. But they don't get blown out. They're always right there. Mm-hmm. The Celtics will have not been in a close game the entire postseason, and the Knicks are seasoned. So I think the Knicks, when the game is right there, and the Celtics were a horrible clutch team all year.
Yeah, the one close game the Celtics have, the Heat won.
Right? So I think the Knicks will be more ready for that, and I don't think that Tatum or Brown or any of the Celtics players are ready to deal with the physicality that the Knicks bring.
Yeah, especially with how Porzingis.
Could you imagine Timberwolves and Knicks finals?
I would do.
Are they just gonna put boxing gloves on? Like just forget the basketball?
I'm
and
so
just
sorry,
start
but I
scrapping?
think that's when the Knicks get blown out. Is if they see the Timberwolves in the finals.
It's possible.
There's so many bodies on that team to throw at Brunson, dude.
Yeah, the Timberwolves. We'll get to them later, but they're looking really good. Later in the show, we're gonna cover potential series of the year: Nuggets versus Timberwolves. But for now, let's get into the Celtics versus Cavs. I, again, don't have much here.
Celtics
the
in
East,
5.
The East is so boring to me this year.
I wish everybody had been healthy because it could have been a great Eastern Conference with everybody healthy.
Yeah, through the regular season, too, because the Sixers shouldn't have been a 7
No,
seed.
Sixers were 2 seed easy, like
Right.
lock 2 seed.
Right. So they were so low, which meant that either them or the Knicks had to go in the first round. So these teams are just... And the Bucks should be in it still, but they got hurt.
And then if the Heat didn't slack off in the regular season and was healthy...
Hopefully Doc Rivers gets fired. No,
I doubt it. I doubt it because he's going to have an injury caveat. He's going to be like, oh, they got injured. What do you want me to... I still won a game without Giannis and Dame. He's going to come back.
Oh, please, no.
He's coming back.
All right. Celtics in 5. I think they give one away because it's what they do.
I think they give one away in Cleveland because Cleveland's been really good at home.
They also played the Magic, though. This is a step up in competition. But the Celtics gave one away to, no offense,
the Heat.
The Heat's third stringers, so I think they'll end up giving one away.
They have to. I don't think they're going to sweep at all.
No. But out of the garbage can and into the bag of riches, we got Nuggets versus Timberwolves. Wolves are up 2-0. That game, too,
dude,
was one of
without Rudy.
Right. That was the best defensive game I've seen from a team in my time watching basketball.
Yeah.
That was just insane. And we have a specific question for this one since we already did a series preview in the last episode.
All right.
Is Jokic as great of a player as we thought he was?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is that it? Just yes?
I mean, what do you want? Like, there's 3. This game, yes, 2 7-footers that were thrown at him. But there's 3 that are getting thrown at him, and he's still doing 20-point triple-doubles. He's just not as efficient because that team is, like you said, probably the best defensive team we've seen in a while. So, I don't know. Yes, I'm just going to say yes. What about you?
So, no. Because I had Jokic as the bona fide number 1. Like, nobody's within arm's length of him, and I no longer think that. I, on a previous episode, called him Godzilla King of the Monsters. But when I feel like he just kind of quit to a certain extent. And
I think turnovers, that whole team, I think the starters quit.
I think the turnovers are starting to become a major issue. Mm-hmm. Last year, correct me if I'm wrong, their longest series went 5 games.
Yeah, with the Heat
and the Wolves.
And the Suns. Did the Suns take?
No, the Suns
6?
went to 6.
Yeah.
So the Suns went 6, but they just killed them in Game 6.
Yeah.
So
that's what Devin Booker does.
When things are easy, and again, our technical producer, everybody, thank you, Alex. When things are easy, and the offense is flowing, and it's just, I get to show up and hoop, whatever. Jokic is excellent. But as soon as someone punches him in the mouth, he's like, yeah, dude, I don't actually want to be here. I want to go ride my horses. So forget all of this. I'm just going to quit. And to me, I just don't like that attitude. At least that's what I saw watching the game. And he's averaging 4 turnovers per game, which...
In the playoffs or the series?
In the playoffs.
Playoffs.
And when the Celtics went to the finals a few years ago, Tatum got absolutely killed because he had 100 turnovers that playoff series that playoff run. Jokic, and that was by averaging 4.2 turnovers a game. Jokic is right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to claim it now. And will I be wrong? Will I be proven right? Don't know. Ant's the best player in the world.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
He is the best player in the world.
You can be right in a few years. Yes.
I could be proven right in a month.
No.
Yes. Ant goes through Jokic. He then plays either Luka or Shea in the Western Conference Finals, goes through them, and then he beats the 60-win, highest margin of victory team in NBA history, Celtics. He's the best player in the world.
It depends on what fashion. It depends on what fashion he does it.
I could be proven right in a month. Could be.
I don't think he'll get the buzz if he goes on, but he needs to be averaging 30.
They're close to him. I think 27, 28 would be right.
That's what
there.
he put up in the regular season.
I think right now for the playoffs he's averaging 32. That might have just been round 1 though.
Well, he just put up 30 twice.
He scored 27 in game 2.
What I don't understand with Anthony Edwards is I'll be watching the game, right? And he'll be like 2 of 7 to start the game. And then I just see him do a couple layups, a couple dunks. And then I look and he has 30.
Superstar.
I'm like, what? It's like the Jokic effect.
Right, and those are the truly great players in the game where you're like, dang, he's not playing that well. Whoa, he has 30?
Yeah.
Like, those are
efficient 30, too.
Right.
Well,
those
the thing
are the
also,
truly great players
he's a two-way player, which helps his case a lot.
Right, he's the best two-way guard
in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our friends was saying that Shea is up there. No, he's not.
No, Shea is up there.
No, he's not.
Shea is a great defender.
Shea is a steal merchant. He's obviously not. He's not as bad as James Harden was defense. I'm not saying nowhere close, but James Harden led the league in steals.
No, so I understand what you're saying.
When our friend says he averages two steals a game, I don't care. I genuinely.
don't. I don't care about stats. I'm a Bam Adebayo fan. I do not care about stats.
That's fair.
But
he's a good defender, but he's not.
He's an above average defender. He's not Ant level.
Right. That's all I'm saying. He's not.
Yeah, he's not Ant level, but he's better than Ant offensively.
Yeah, but it's close enough. I think offense.
I understand what you're saying, but there's also the playmaking. There's things to offense that he has, Ant doesn't. But I'm not getting into Ant for shit. I like them both.
Yeah, they're both good players, but one's better than the other.
Okay.
All right, next question. We already have the answer to this, so we're going to reword it a little bit.
Well, we can ask what we think would have.
Right, we're going to reword it a little bit. Do you think Jamal Murray should have been suspended for Game 3?
He threw 2 things, not 1 or 2.
I know.
And I promise
you... And he threw the money sign up.
I promise you... Rudy Gobert got...
he got fined $100K in the regular season for the 1 thing.
Not for 3.
He does 3 and just gets the same thing. That's such nonsense.
I promise you, if this series is tied 1-1, he's probably suspended.
Agreed.
If they are winning 2-0, he's suspended. And if this is any other team, he's suspended.
I completely agree.
I think Anthony Edwards does that. He's just suspended.
Up 2-0, I completely agree. I think that's part of why Draymond got suspended years ago.
Draymond might have been kicked out the league, dude.
Draymond would be on his way to an island, like, just on by himself if he did this stuff.
I think the only people that would not be suspended for that is Jokic, Luka, LeBron, and Curry.
Yeah, but even Curry got thrown out of games for like
throwing his mouthpiece.
Just throwing his
mouthpiece. But I'm saying after review they wouldn't have suspended Curry.
Yeah, the fact there was not a single technical thrown for any of these 3
things.
And
Mike Malone looked like he was about to. He got his face.
I think Malone was trying to get kicked out to like.
No, I think he was trying to get a tech.
I think he was trying to get thrown out to light a fire under the team's ass.
I can't believe there was no text called.
Yeah, But to be fair, that's kind of the style of that game. It was just like, hey, this is a boxing match. Like, the refs are just here to, like, we just have
make sure they don't
seats.
die.
Yeah, we have courtside seats, and y'all do your thing, which is how it was officiated, and that's how they did it for text, too.
Like, if they're going to officiate that way, I am fine with that. But don't call a tech on Ant for staring down Reggie Jackson.
Dude.
The game before.
I know.
That makes no sense.
Maybe that they were trying to, like, make up for it. But that's ridiculous.
For the Nuggets?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That was bad. But if this is how it was ref both sides, though.
It was.
The Timberwolves like playing like that, though. So that's why they didn't care.
Yeah, that'll be the most physical game of the series, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be the most physical game of
year.
the entire year, entire playoffs. So I have I'm going to read what I have. What Murray did was ridiculous and childish. In this order, throws towel at the ref, wasn't caught. Then
the camera guy got it, right?
Yeah. Then decides, because I wasn't caught and it didn't hit my mark, I'm going to throw a heating pad. Heating pad makes it onto court in the middle of a play.
Stops play.
Cat could have slipped on it and got hurt. Luckily didn't. Makes the layup. And then Caldwell Pope tries to throw the heating pad away and get rid of the evidence. Luckily, Mark Davis was like, what's going on here? Still no technical foul. What? Throws up the money sign. If one of these happens, one of the three, don't suspend him. 2, have a conversation.
Fine.
See how people are looking. All 3 happen. How is he not suspended? And I said, a player like Draymond would be banned from the league for less than this. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. And it's embarrassing for any player, especially a player of his level. Yeah. It honestly, the entire game, Jamal Murray was pissing me off.
Yeah, he was just crying.
Like, fucking wham.
He was Devin Bookering all over the court.
Yeah, he was. Sorry for cussing. Thank you, brother. It was awful, but I want to move into some NFL because I'm really excited for these next segments we have.
One more thing with I understand why the refs didn't tee him up for the throwing because they thought it was a fan. This was said. They thought it was a fan, but I am mad at the NBA for reviewing all 3 of those things and he doesn't get suspended. It's insane.
I think what you said hit it right on the money of that because they're down 2-0, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, okay, no suspension for the regular season or for the postseason. To start next year, you're suspended the first 3 games.
Something.
Because obviously one postseason game means a lot more than regular season games. So for the first 3 or 5 games, you're suspended because what you did was nonsense.
Yeah, and that hurts him because that brings into his money with his 65 game mark.
Right.
But
I think a lot less of Jamal Murray after that game. That was ridiculous.
I was just watching Devin Booker play basketball. That's all I was doing.
It was actually insane. We're going to move on to some NFL over-unders. We picked a few teams, looked at the Vegas odds. I used FanDuel for this to predict whether or not these teams will go over or under their projected win totals. We're going to start off with the Los Angeles Ram, whose over-under is set at 8.5. Devin, what do you got?
I have under, but I have them getting 8 wins.
You have them under?
So I have all the people that I have them beating. Do you want me to name those off or no?
Sure, quickly.
So I have they sweep the Seahawks, they split with the Cardinals, they beat the Vikings, beat the Raiders, beat the Saints, beat the Patriots, and beat the Dolphins.
You don't have them beating the Niners once?
No.
But if they beat the Niners once, though, they hit the over.
Yeah, I don't have them beat the Niners.
You're on the Avengers team now?
No, they're really good. They're the Avengers.
They are the Avengers. I have the Rams hitting the over. I think the Rams are going to win that division.
Wow.
Obviously, way too early. We'll do official division stuff later. But as of right now, I think they're going to win the division. I think eventually, and you'll hope this too, eventually having the Avengers around him, Brock Purdy is going to show us what he actually is, which is a below average NFL quarterback. Eventually it's going to sink in, and
this is true.
It's going to sink in, and they're not going to be some sort of juggernaut. Their vibes are bad. They talked about trading Debo.
Just let them trade one of those receivers.
They tried to trade Ayuk. Their vibes are bad. Their safety is still coming off injury. Drake Greenlaw is going to be a huge problem. The fact that he's gone for the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because he tore his meniscus in the Super Bowl. He's not coming back this year at least. So eventually it'll happen.
Yes.
I have them winning the division, so I have them over 8.5.
Do you have how much wins?
No, I don't. I just think it'll be more than 8.5. I think they'll be 11 to 12 win team. I'm really high on the Rams.
I don't blame you. They showed a lot last season.
Right.
They were in a lot of close games. They didn't finish them out, and they just lost Aaron.
And
Donald.
they started off really poorly.
Yes.
I think Stafford
with injuries.
Hopefully Stafford's healthy this year. Nakua is now
Kupp.
second year. Cooper Kupp stays healthy.
They had a good draft.
They had a good draft. I hate the loss of Donald, obviously.
Yes.
But they've drafted really well. They kind of hit the F them picks motto, and it was like, well, you got your Super Bowl, now welcome to purgatory. And they kind of skipped purgatory because they drafted so well.
Yeah, they've hit all their picks.
Which, more power to them.
And they have another full season of healthy Kyron Williams or Barry Sanders.
Okay. We're going to move on to the New York Jets, whose over-under is somehow set at 9.5.
Yeah, that's free money.
What do you got?
Over.
You have the over?
For the Jets?
Yeah.
I have them winning 11 games.
You think that's free money?
Yeah.
I have them going under.
I have them... Hold on. I have them beat...
I thought we were agreeing.
No, I have them
that's free money.
Splitting with the Bills, sweeping the Dolphins, sweeping the Patriots, beating the Broncos, Rams, Seahawks,
They lost
Jags,
to the Patriots last year.
Vikings, and Cardinals. They lost to the Patriots last year. Can you tell me their quarterback, please?
How do you know Aaron Rodgers is going to be their quarterback this year?
Because he could have came back at the end of last year.
Oh, Devin.
If he had
Can
to come
we have
back,
the first transition takes bet? Can we just personally bet on this? I'll put 25 on them on the under, and you'll put a...
hold on. Wait. Can I say if Rodgers tears his Achilles again?
No, because that's their biggest thing. They're a health risk.
I'll do it. 25?
25.
Yeah.
Love it.
For the wins or just the over-under?
Over-under.
Okay, yeah.
So if they get 10, you got it. If they get 9 or less, I got it. Yeah, and you know Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown for 300 yards since December 12th of 2021.
I don't care. They have Breece Hall in an elite defense.
Their defense is elite. You won't hear any arguments on this side. Breece Hall, injury problem. He was healthy last year.
And he was I think the most efficient back in the league last year.
I wouldn't know, so I'll take your word on that. They bring in Mike Williams, who hasn't played a full season
I don't
in
trust
years.
Mike Williams.
Right? So their only really receiving threat is still Garrett Wilson.
Tyler Conklin. It's an average tight end. It's an average tight end that can catch some passes.
Yeah, so am I. Okay.
No, you're not.
Lazard. And the Lazard is awful. Got benched last year.
Yes, true.
The two tackles they brought in to fix their O-line are both giant injury risks.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith, I'll tell you from personal experience, is not playing every game. So, and also Saleh has not proven that he's decent at head coaching, let alone good at it.
What did the Jets finish with? 7 wins? 6 wins?
Mm-hmm.
7? I think Rodgers can give them 3 wins.
But I think there were some games last year that the Jets shouldn't have won.
Yeah, but there's games they should have won.
Even this year with Rodgers, they might not win again. Like
with Rodgers, you're telling me they don't win that Chiefs game?
Maybe, but Zach Wilson played really well that game. I know it's Zach Wilson; he's awful, but he did play really well.
Oh, Mason, he played really well. He showed some talent, Mason.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I don't like that you remembered that old thing.
Yeah.
He called me out. No, he didn't show any talent. He just had a good game.
Oh, okay. Because quarterbacks aren't talented.
I have no
top 3.
I have no basketball talent, but I can have a good game.
But you didn't get picked top 3.
Sometimes I do.
He clearly had some talent there, but that's nevertheless.
But he was never supposed to be picked top 3 until one throw at his pro day.
Drake May, sorry, my fault.
Don't like the Drake May pick.
Oh, it just reminds me a lot of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but he's a lot bigger.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger and better.
All right, this one will be fun for me. New York Giants over under 6.5.
Under, but I have them at 6.
Under, yes.
I have them beating the Saints, Bucks, sweeping Commanders, Seahawks, and Panthers.
Alex is a Saints fan, so he didn't like that. The Giants are awful. They drafted a receiver. Good for them. Their O-line, very well, could still be worse in the league. Daniel Jones is not good.
True.
Sorry, Burke, if you watch this. Neither is Drew Lock. Dable ran the deep.
Oh, they got Drew Lock.
Yeah, they got Drew Lock.
He should start. I'm not going to lie. He's better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is awful. Dable ran the D coordinator out of town, and he just has this giant ego where he thinks, yeah, I can make Daniel Jones a good quarterback. Let's give him $40 million a year. Fuck off. Sorry for cussing. They lost the best player on their team. The Giants are a clown show, have been a clown show, and will continue to be a clown show.
Saquon.
Yeah. Yeah, the Giants are awful.
I just have them at 6 wins because their defense can win them football games.
Oh, they're also in a division where the Commanders added a lot of talent.
Yes.
The Eagles are the Eagles, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys.
I still have them sweeping the Commanders, but losing
the Giants.
All,
the Giants do play.
But
really
losing
well
all
against
4
Commanders.
games against Eagles and Cowboys.
Well, yeah, they can't block the fronts of those teams.
You have no idea how bad. I just wanted to say they're going to sweep the Cowboys just to say it.
Well, if you say they're going to split, I'll disagree with you. If you say they're going to sweep, I just won't even talk to you about it because that's ridiculous. All right, we're moving on. This one is especially for our good old cameraman, Alex. Shout out Numbox. New Orleans Saints over under 7.5.
Once again, I have them under, but right at 7.
This was supposed to be for him.
Well, it's also for me to not look like an idiot on the internet. I have them splitting with the Falcons, sweeping Panthers, splitting Bucks, and then beating Broncos, Raiders, and Commanders. So all the bad teams.
Yeah, that's good aim.
I got you.
Well, Alex doesn't care anymore because they lost Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jameis Winston should.
Where did he go?
Where did Jameis go? Okay, you can spew. I'll look where Jameis Winston went.
So, spew. I have the Saints going over simply and only because I want every team in this division to flourish while the Falcons crash and burn. I will be as anti-Falcon as possible until the GM is fired. Once more, that pick was the worst thing I've ever seen. This pick is hard overhead because I think the line is actually perfect. I think they're going to end with 7 or 8 wins. Mm-hmm. But I'm hammering the over just because...
Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons can die, essentially. I had nothing for a team that did what they did.
So, I actually like where Jameis Winston went. He went to the Browns.
Yeah, that's good aim. He should probably start over Watson.
I disagree, but you should definitely put it over Watson's head.
Yeah.
We are not afraid. We are not afraid to bench you.
Yeah, he should absolutely have a short leash.
But I would like to say Deshaun Watson did show flashes here and there at the end of.
He showed flash. He had that one really good game.
Yeah, so there was one good game, and then there was times in fourth quarter and clutch moments where he came up big.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping. I hate him as a person, but as a football player, I want Prime Watson back. Yeah, allegedly I hate him as a person.
Right.
But as a football player, I would love Prime Deshaun Watson back. That Browns team is crazy with Prime Watson.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even understand
how he got so bad.
Right. Obviously, he took the time off, but your talent is still always there.
It has
it's
to
almost
be
like
mental.
it has to be in his head of if he did what he was accused of doing, of I don't deserve this anymore.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
He's
afraid to succeed and be in the spotlight. Maybe, yeah.
Do you remember him getting kicked in the eye with the cleat and still making a dot?
Yeah, he was a really.
He was the
player.
definition of escape artist.
I mean, what was his last? His last big moment was against the Chiefs when they blew that lead. They were 24-3.
Yeah, and then he sat out
51.
And then he sat out the next season, and then the controversy for the next season, and then he came back and was injured basically all last season.
Yeah. He has a weird story, and allegedly he's a pretty bad person.
Yeah.
But anyway, next one we got Arizona Cardinals over under 6.5.
Dude, if I had a lot of money, I would bet a lot of money on the over. An insane. I have them winning 9 games.
I wouldn't bet a lot of money on the under, which I'm saying under, but I think it could go either way.
Only reason I have them winning 9, I could go over the opponents really quick. I haven't beaten the Bears only because I think Kyler goes off against the Bears to prove why they chose him over Caleb. Technically, why the staff didn't throw those last few games. And then Patriots, Commanders, Chargers.
Is that game in Chicago?
I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And then splitting Rams, sweeping Seahawks, beating Vikings, beating Panthers. You heard those names. There's not a lot of good teams on those wins.
What was it?
So I have them: Bears, Patriots, Commanders,
are
Chargers, Rams, Seahawks, Vikings. They played the Seahawks really well last season. They should have swept them.
Yeah.
And then
the Chargers could be decent,
but they played the Chargers.
How much
they also played the Chargers really well.
I'm obviously higher on the Rams than you are.
I just think they're going to split even.
Yeah.
I think that we are going to be a lot better, and
I think that their schedule and division are kind of brutal.
Dude, I hate the division so
I think
much.
they're one draft and free agency period away from actually being a good team again.
I think we're defenders away, yeah.
I think they have a decent amount of talent, but the schedule's pretty brutal. I think they're going to end up with probably 5-ish wins, 5, 6, but I think the line is pretty much perfect where they get 6, 7 wins.
I just had to be a little biased.
No, I get it. I mean, let's be honest, there's a reason Vegas has all those big buildings. They set the lines pretty perfect almost every time.
I'm calling it right now, though. Cardinals top 7 offense in the league.
Marvin Harrison, I'm really excited.
We're going to have a top 5 run game. You can mark that in.
Yeah, and the running back you guys got out of Florida State, right? Yeah.
And Connor just ate last season, so
and Connor's still there?
Yeah.
So you guys will have
We have 3 good running backs, and Michael Carter's there, too.
Michael Carter's okay.
He will for a third string. He's pretty good.
You have a weird thing about overrated Jets players.
No, Michael Carter's a good running back for your third string. No, for your third string running back.
Yeah,
that's good.
You know what team doesn't have very many good running backs? The Dallas Cowboys, whose over under is set at 10.5. Devin.
It's like we set that up perfectly.
It's like we
scripted it.
We didn't though.
I have him under, but right at 10. I have him sweeping Commanders, sweeping Giants, splitting Eagles, beating Bucks, Saints, Ravens, Panthers, and Steelers. And the over-under I put right here, questionable with Falcons.
If they lose to the Falcons, I'll come on this show the week after shirtless. And
I want you wearing a Michael Penix jersey.
If you buy the jersey, I'll wear it.
Okay. I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Unacceptable.
Dude, the Falcons are just a talented team. I don't know if they'll put it together, but I just put questionable with Falcons.
I'd really like to know how their schedule is laid out before actually making an official pick, but obviously we're going to make picks here. Because I think that Dallas would benefit very much from having, if they have to open up the year with excellent defenses, with 2 rookie O-linemen and a group of 5 O-linemen who have never played together, all 5 of them together.
You're talking about the Falcons?
No, the Cowboys.
Cowboys, okay.
Because they'll have a rookie center and a rookie left tackle, which a rookie left tackle is always kind of crazy. So if they open up against really good defenses, they're probably going to lose those games. But if they played those games later in the year, where the offensive line has had a chance to kind of settle in, they could win those games.
So what if they play Steelers first game?
Oh, dude, they're done. They're done. Dallas will lose that game.
I just looked up everybody's opponents. I didn't look at the actual. I don't think the schedule.
The actual schedule is not out yet.
I just looked at.
You just know the opponents.
Yeah.
And I think Dallas gets railroaded if they played them week 1.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Even with Russ at QB.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. When Dallas scores 3 points and T.J. Watt has
7
17,
sacks.
Yeah.
He's just gonna break the sack record in the first game.
Jerry, for whatever reason, gotta love what he keeps doing, is heavily lobbying for the first game to be against San Francisco, which Dallas will lose.
Does he just want it out of the way or something?
Maybe, but I think if they played later in the year, Dallas would have a chance.
I think
you can't handle that. You can't handle that defense.
Yeah, you cannot go
with
against that defense.
2 rookie O linemen. So, like I said, I'd really like to know the schedule, but I'm gonna go with the over because I have to show a little bit of.
Yeah,
with all the slander that I've given them, I have to show a little bit of bias.
They're also an elite regular season team.
That's the next thing in here. They've won with Dak healthy since McCarthy's been there. They've won 12 games every year.
Yeah, it's a given.
And they've had a first place schedule twice when they've won those 12 games. So they have a first game schedule this year, so it's going to be tougher. But I think they win 12 again.
Dude, screw this schedule thing. We were a last place team, and we play some good ass teams.
Well, they just so happen to be good. Sorry, brother. All right, now we get into a new segment that we like to call Hotel Superstar. I'm really excited for this one.
Hey, you didn't do it. You didn't say the wrong thing.
I didn't. Yeah. So, Hotel Superstar, Devin. Let me break it down to you. Let me break it down to the audience. There are 8 superstars in Hotel Superstar. It's a 1-in, 1-out policy.
Okay.
The current 8 superstars in Hotel Superstar. Let me get this on the screen. Boom. We got Luka, LeBron, Steph, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Giannis, KD, and Jokic. Those are our current 8 superstars that I deem are the 8 superstars in the league. Quickly, I'm going to run through this. Luka, best offensive player in the league. This year he averaged 34, 9, and 10. He led a lowly Mavs team to the Western Conference Finals a few years ago. He's a yearly MVP candidate.
Sorry.
Can I help you? Everything okay?
No, I disagreed, but you could go.
Okay. Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP. He's a champion, Finals MVP, greatest passing big ever. He's probably a top 25 player of all time at this point.
Or Jokic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Giannis, top 5 defender in the league. This season he averaged 30, 11.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. He's a 2-time MVP. He's a champion, probably a top 25 player of all time. These ones are pretty much
These are set in stone,
inarguable.
yeah.
LeBron James, he's the GOAT, and until he shows signs of aging, he's going to be in Hotel Superstar. In year 21, he averaged 26, 7, and 8. And to this day, there simply aren't 7 players you trust more than him for a postseason run with all of his experience and his skill. Kevin Durant, he was on the chopping board. He almost didn't make it to check in. But for now, I still have eyes, and KD is a 7-foot sniper with a handle who can defend and somehow was the best center on his team this postseason. And in case you didn't know, he's not a center. He averaged 27, 7, and 5 this season. Steph Curry, sadly, is on an awful team, but he's still the best shooter alive, best shooter to ever live. He averaged 26, 4.5, and 5. He's the most terrifying offensive weapon of all time. He has to be guarded as soon as he passes half court. Sadly, I think he's probably on his way out of the hotel, but at this moment, he's still a member of Hotel Superstar. Joel Embiid won MVP a season ago. This season, when healthy, averaged 35, 11, and 6. He easily could have 2 MVPs, and I think he probably should.
Yeah.
I think there was one they gave to Jokic that should have been Embiid's.
Well, I think not injured, he'd also have one this year.
Right. One more big injury or early postseason exit, he could be exiting Hotel Superstar, and moving into All-Star Hotel instead. But for now, he is still a guest at Hotel Superstar. Anthony Edwards, newest member of Hotel Superstar and the best player in the league. He's the best two-way guard in the game, currently stealing the defending champs' lunch money. This season, he averaged 26, 5, and 5. Last 5 games this postseason is averaging 32 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 6 assists. Faced a fully healthy Suns team who was, funny enough, the Suns were co-favorites to win the title when they traded for Beal.
Were they really?
Yeah. Swept them and currently punking the defending champs. With all of that laid out, those are my 8 superstars in the league. It is a 1-in, 1-out policy. So in order to move someone in, you must move someone out. Devin, who are you moving in and who are you moving out?
I'm still looking at this, deciding between people, and it sucks to say, but I think I'm taking out. Dude, I'm taking out Ant. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There's no way, bro. Okay. And who are you putting in?
I'm putting in Shea.
That's fraudulent.
I'm so sorry.
That's an invalid opinion.
Dude, I can't overreact. Ant has been great this season, but his regular season stats are just all-star stats.
26 a game is now what it means to be an all-star?
Yes.
That's insane.
Add 9 points to that, and that's that guy. Like, you got to think about these scoring numbers. I don't know. It's really between Curry and Ant for me.
I'd move out Curry before I moved out Ant.
The only reason is because Curry's proven. Ant's still proving. You ask me this in a month, and I'll take out Curry probably, but I still have to see it.
I'd genuinely move out Curry and Durant before I moved out Ant.
They've just showed me too much.
Yeah.
Ant's only shown me very little, and this is superstar. Like, these people have multiple rings that you're trying to get me to take out.
Man. All right, well, make your case for Shea being in there over Ant, because I don't see it.
Well, Shea was an MVP candidate this year. That's a superstar accolade. That's one.
Brock Purdy was an MVP candidate last year.
We're not playing football. That's his quarterback's award that just puts up stats and throws the ball. That's the difference.
Shea deservedly so.
I don't want to argue this because I just said Ant is my favorite player at 23 and under.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, if he wins the title at the age of 22, that's never.
I promise you, if you put this segment in next week, I probably will take out Curry before I take out Ant. But we've only seen 3 series from Ant.
But Ant's a better defender than Shea.
That's it. That's literally it.
And the offense is close enough.
He's a better defender, okay? 3-point shooting, I don't know. I think Ant
three-point
shoots
shooting
more
is pretty
volume.
equal.
I'd probably give it to Ant because he shoots more.
Yeah.
But Shea is the obvious better mid-range shooter. He's a better finisher. He's a better playmaker. And the defense thing, I think the margin between...
I don't disagree with
There's
putting Shea in. I think you're taking the wrong guy out.
I'm just taking experience in this club. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, hey, Curry, you're old. Go to All-Star.
But towards the end of the year, Curry did start to die off a little bit.
That's why it's hard for me to take Ant. It's just...
I made a good hotel.
I don't want to let recency bias take me.
I made a very solid hotel. That's what
Like,
makes
I
it
wish
so
you
tough.
just didn't put Ant on so I didn't even have to talk about him.
No.
I was not ready for you to put Anthony Edwards on there.
Ant's a superstar, man.
But I can't believe you left off Shea.
I can.
Leaving off Shea is crazy. Shea was an MVP
I
candidate.
think honestly the biggest difference is Ant, and genuinely, because this is a little biased, Ant played a team in the first round that I cared to watch the series.
Yeah.
While Shea played the Pelicans, and it's like, I'm not
when
watching
he didn't
that.
have to play as hard.
Right.
Okay,
now Ant is currently has his foot on the throat of the defending champs while
he's playing
Shea's 1-0.
But he's a 1 seed. That's what he's supposed to be doing.
Well,
everybody was
dude, I know he's the 1 seed.
everybody was slurping Jokic last year when he was the 1 seed going against garbage teams.
The Wolves were a game behind him. It's not like this is the East where the Celtics
No, I know
are
that,
15
but I'm saying
games ahead
the
the
difference in
second
their
seed.
competition is because they won. They had that tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But those stats that you said Ant is averaging in the playoffs is what he averaged in the regular season.
It's more impressive to average in the playoffs, though. Like, much more impressive. And it's also 32, not 30. Obviously, 32
The
to
impressive
30.
part, yes and no, just because this is over 75 games.
Yeah. Like I said, I can see a world where Shea's in there.
I completely agree
don't
with you
see
not
a world
wanting
where
me to take Ant out. I just think he's the young guy.
So
in
even
there.
though you said he's your favorite player under 23, I'm officially claiming Ant is my player.
You picked Wemby.
I don't care. Not for that specific question, but Ant is my guy. And Shea's your guy.
No.
We're on two different sides of the coin.
If you're talking about this, yes.
No, in general,
No.
Ant's my guy.
Anthony Edwards is my favorite,
So
second favorite player in the league.
When Ant succeeds, I get to celebrate.
I get to celebrate.
No,
I'm
you don't.
a Wolves fan right
You
now.
don't think he's a superstar?
I think he's a superstar, but you gave me 8 goddamn players to put, so I have to take one off. No, that's not cussing.
All right. Well, this segment was just as much fun as I thought it was.
How about
going
we
to
put
be.
10 and we just throw Kawhi and Shea in there?
Kawhi is not a superstar.
Kawhi is a superstar when healthy. Kawhi is a superstar.
Dude.
Mason. Okay,
you
who
are
is
so
okay,
annoying
hold
with
on.
injuries. No, hold on a second.
No, but
all of
say
your,
a 10th name.
I-
Who's your 10th name?
I
then,
like the
instead
Jets.
of Kawhi.
I like the Jets as long as they stay healthy. Dude, they're not going to.
Okay,
you should
okay,
know
no,
that.
but this-
I like the Clippers
the
as
10th
long as they stay healthy.
the
Dude,
10th
they're not
name.
going to. You should know that.
Who is your 10th
Kawhi
name?
is a superstar if he stays healthy. He's not going
No,
to.
when
you
healthy,
should know
he's
that.
a superstar.
But he's
Who's
never
your 10th
healthy.
name then? Who's your 10th
Dude.
name then?
Oh.
If I had to give you 2 names, is Shea one of those 2 names?
Shea and Brunson.
No way.
Yeah.
Kawhi has been All-Star MVP.
I don't care.
Or not All-Star, Finals MVP.
How many years ago? 5?
I don't know how long it's.
It was 2019.
4 or 5, yeah. He
Dude,
still plays that good.
Kawhi has the second worst contract
Now-
in the league. He's
Now
not
you
a
you
superstar.
bring in injuries. I won't put Kawhi in.
They're a part of the game.
No,
Devin.
they're a part of the game, but I'm
Oh.
talking just strictly the player, Mason. You're asking me that
But a part-
superstars.
Devin, a part of the player is his ability to
but
stay healthy.
I'm saying what we see in Kawhi, when we saw most of this season, was a superstar.
No,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes.
Well, I disagree with that more than the whole Ant thing. Kawhi's not a superstar
Kawhi is a
anymore.
superstar.
It's unfortunate that he's not a superstar, but he's not a superstar.
Why isn't Kawhi a superstar?
Because he's never healthy.
He was healthy this whole
and
season.
when he does, he
until the
averages
playoffs.
22 a game now.
Okay. We're just going to agree to disagree with Kawhi not being a superstar.
We're just going to agree that Mason's right because he's not
No.
a superstar. All right,
He's a
moving
superstar.
on. That was a very fun segment. We'll have Hotel Superstars from time to time to update it and see where stuff's at.
For
we're gonna
NFL
move.
too?
Ooh, I like that. But it
Yeah.
shouldn't be a room full of like the top 8 quarterbacks.
We should do quarterback superstar and then rest superstar.
Rest superstars. All right, moving on. We're going to talk some NBA futures. Which eliminated team or a team that didn't make the playoffs at all has the best chance to win the title next year.
Okay.
Probably whatever team Kawhi ends up on after he gets traded, because he's no longer a superstar.
No, I'm going to go with the Grizzlies.
That's...
They remind me so much of that Warriors team, where everybody got hurt. They got a lottery pick. That pick didn't even end up being good. They just got healthy and hooped again and won the finals.
That's actually a pretty good aim.
The only thing is, I think they need to get a center. Jaren cannot play center.
Yeah, why'd they trade Steven Adams?
I think they wanted to get off money. That's my only thing. But they have a great starting five projected with Ja, Bane, Vince Williams. There's G.G. Jackson still there. Jaren. They have a bunch of G Leaguers after that.
You don't know how their cap space is. Can they do anything like addition wise, or are they kind of locked into the team that you just said?
I think they have like a mid level. They can add something. I don't think they can add a max, of course. Ooh, Alex just said Drummond. That would be very good for them.
Yeah, the thing that you're kind of... Ja's a good player. You can call him even a great player. But the thing that Warriors team had that this one doesn't is Steph Curry's like borderline top 10 player ever. Mm-hmm. Ja's not that.
No, but when we last saw
and they
Ja,
had the history of like this team.
Not this season
together.
Because we saw 5 games of Ja, but the season before in the rankings he was around 10. He was between 9 and 12. So Ja has a capability of being in this with the last segment.
Yeah,
he has that capability.
He used to be. Obviously, we haven't done the show very long, but at one point he would have been in Hotel Superstar.
He's
sure.
just.
But there is a difference between top 10 player current like in the league.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but I'm just saying if we're talking landscape of the league, yes, there's other people he has to go through, but they have some defenders.
It's also incredibly rare to win a title with a 6'3" guard as your best player.
I mean, we're
the
saying
only
that
Steph Curry did it.
You just said Brunson.
Who's the other one? Isaiah Thomas.
You just said you want Brunson to win it all.
I do.
So that's another guy that's going to be
but
short.
Brunson is really good aim, and
yeah, so is Ja.
Yeah,
but
Ja
there's
kind
also
of made me mad with all that crap he did. I'm kind of anti-Ja.
But there's also, you got to think they still have Desmond Bane, who just
allegedly. No, it's not allegedly.
It's not proven. Allegedly.
Ja did it,
but
for sure.
Desmond Bane just came off a career year without Ja. It's going to be a lot like that.
There's a reason for that.
Oh yeah,
because he has the extra shots.
Yeah, but he has the extra shots.
But now
it's
he has
the
the
same
experience.
thing. It's the same thing with the Maxey thing. He has that extra experience without his best player, so when needed to and called upon, he has that. Jaren, he just had more opportunity to show off his offensive game. He's still an elite defender.
Yeah.
Vince Williams blossomed into a very solid starter.
It's definitely an interesting pick. I did not expect you to go with that at all.
It's also a little biased. Ja's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, but Ja's on my shit list.
And then honorable mention to the Bucks.
That's
they're
fair.
just a great team.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But if they have Doc, they have no shot. All right, moving on to my answer. I have the 76ers. Obviously, I was pretty high on them this year. I had them in the finals. They have cap space for 2 max players, which I think they either need to trade for KD or...
What did they even give up, though?
Make it happen. I don't care.
Anything they want but Maxey and
Embiid.
Yeah.
Or, and preferably, because then you don't have to trade anything, sign Paul George.
Say Clay and Paul, huh?
Actually, I've moved off that.
Okay.
Just sign Paul George and then surround it with role players. I think the days of having a bunch of stars is kind of gone. You want a solid core with role players that fit. Maxey, Embiid, and George play styles fit together. And then I said this in an earlier episode, don't play Embiid until after All-Star Weekend. If they bring in either KD or George, the 76ers are my official title pick. Mm-hmm. Not only of the current, of the eliminated, but of the entire league.
Even over the Celtics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they bring in one of those two, that's my pick. Set in stone. I won't change it. But that's all I have on the Sixers.
Honestly, I forgot about the Sixers when thinking about it. I still stand by what I say, but I just don't.
But I like the way you did it. You picked a team that didn't even make the tournament, so that's a very interesting one. And now the segment that I've all been waiting for. Deadpool reference. Did you catch that?
Nah.
You're not a huge Deadpool guy?
No, I've watched all the movies. I just don't rewatch. So it's kind of like the first.
I'm so hyped for the third one. Anyway, we're going to go back to high school for a little bit here. We're going to play Would You Rather. And this week's edition of Would You Rather is going to be Would You Rather Dak Prescott edition. Essentially, Devin is going to ask me, would I rather have quarterback X or Dak Prescott?
And there's a caveat. They all have the same contract.
That's huge.
And then the injury risk, if it's 50-50, like if you're going with Dak over a certain person because of an injury risk, just say that. That's it.
I can do that.
Sound good? Sound good. First name up, Kirk Cousins.
Dak.
Second name up, Caleb Williams.
So that's a tough one. Caleb has huge upside. I think Caleb's upside is being the 1B to Mahomes' 1A. And I've said previously that I'm in the being great business. So if I have someone who
has the chance,
has that high of a ceiling, I have to take Caleb because I don't think Dak, as good as I think Dak is not, could never be on that level. So I would take Caleb.
Deshaun Watson.
Dak with a bullet.
Jared Goff.
Dak with a bullet.
I thought you would be closer with the Jared Goff one. I knew you would pick Dak, but I thought you'd be like, Jared Goff's still a solid quarterback, and not say with a bullet.
Yeah, my problem with Jared is that whenever he's pressured, he turns into a pumpkin. And Dak is year in, year out one of the best quarterbacks in the league against the blitz.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jared has had, there was a reason he was traded from the Rams.
Yeah.
Like, we did see that happen.
He is better now, but yes.
He is better now, but he also has a ridiculous amount of talent.
True. Jordan Love.
That's another tough one. Obviously, the last we saw Dak play football, his team was getting spanked by Jordan Love's team. Obviously, football is a team game, and there are no quarterback win stats.
Yeah.
So the Packers won that game, not Jordan Love. I need to see a little bit more from Jordan. It is certainly possible that by the end of next year I would take Jordan over Dak. But the Packers did start like 6-8 or something like that, and Jordan was struggling. And then something just clicked, and he looked amazing from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to see a little bit more. For now, I'm going Dak.
CJ Stroud.
CJ. Again, yeah. I'm in the being great business, kind of the same spiel as Caleb. I think CJ could be one of the very best in the league. It's another one of those I'd like to see more, but I've seen enough from him straight out of college into the pros. He did what he did, so I would go CJ.
So far, I've agreed with you on everyone other than Jordan Love. I would take Jordan Love, but it's a toss-up. But do you think Stroud's better right now, or do you trust the upside?
If I had to pick them for same team for just the next year, I would pick Dak.
Okay, so we disagree too. Anthony Richardson.
I would pick Dak over Richardson. I don't love that the heavily physical quarterback who's going to put himself in harm's way game in, game out, got hurt every game in his first 3 games and then missed the rest of the year.
I wish he didn't. He was so electric, so fun to watch. He made some great, he made a throw while getting sacked by Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of talent. It's just a
injury.
I think he's going to kind of go the Cam route without as high of a ceiling that Cam reached with MVP Super Bowl, but just where his body just betrays him.
I disagree, but only because of the coaching, and I think people are going
like their coaches.
Their coach is great, but I also think he's not going to be dumb enough. I think this next season he's going to end up sliding. He's going to actually slide. He's going to learn how to.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
Dak.
Agreed. Trevor Lawrence is very overrated, has been since he got drafted. I will stand on that.
Yeah, I have it written here. Trevor Lawrence's best season was 66.3 completion percentage, 4,100 yards, a 25-8 touchdown interception ratio.
2 years ago?
Yeah, 95.2 rating. That was his best year.
Yes.
Dak with the bullet once again.
Now this one I'm interested in. Matthew Stafford.
Dak.
Really? I'd take Stafford.
That one's one I won't necessarily argue with you taking Stafford out. My number one thing there is, if we're talking like longevity, Stafford's really old.
Oh yeah, 100% longevity. But if I put them both on the same team, who I trust to win me games more is I'm taking Stafford. But there is that injury.
But Stafford had the same narrative at the same point in his career. Stafford had the same narrative that Dak has now, and had to be traded to the Rams to win further.
Yeah, but
there's a very high chance that Dak isn't a Cowboy after this upcoming season, and we'll see if he goes to some loaded team like Stafford did and changes his narrative. I mean,
the team difference is crazy, though.
I again have the stats here. Stafford's best year isn't as good as Dak's best year.
Oh,
so even the
really?
upside is not there.
Yeah, no, Dak does put up crazy numbers. I just feel like there's been crazy Stafford years.
So I looked through I actually went on, shout out StatMuse.
Yeah, StatMuse.
I went through and got all this. That's where I got this information.
Okay.
Stafford's best year was 17 games played, 67.2 completion percentage, 4,886 yards, 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions with a 102.9 rating.
That's a great season.
It was a good season. Dak's best year, his completion percentage was better.
What year is this for Dak?
Last year. Actually, not Dak's best year. This was Dak last year. Which, if you think it was his best year, then
it's
cool.
about his best.
I think 21 was his best year.
Yeah, I think 21 was. But that was the year after the ankle?
21, yeah.
Okay.
No.
2?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It was a year after the ankle, which is impressive within itself.
Yes.
But I have just Dak last year, and any of these ones I picked their best year, which could have been a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Stafford's, I want to say, was like 2011 with the Lions. Like, it was a long time ago.
It was the Megatron year, yeah.
So Dak had better completion percentage. He had 300 less yards. He had less touchdowns, but he also had half the picks. His touchdown interception ratio was 36-9.
Yeah, he's an elite regular season quarterback.
And then his rating was 105.9 versus Stafford's was 102.9.
It's just the only reason I take Stafford is we saw him in the playoffs play great. We haven't really seen that yet from Dak. He has at least one bad game. That's the game that they lose. So.
I'd love to see Dak with Sean McVay. That's like my biggest thing.
Yeah, I understand, but
also about your playoffs thing, Dak played an objectively great game against the Bucks, followed up with an objectively bad game against the Niners.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna have one, and they usually lose that.
He had an objectively great game against the Packers his rookie year, which they lost.
Yes.
He played average games against the Seahawks and the Rams. They beat the Seahawks and they lost to the Rams. Those were the same year, actually. I don't hold this year's loss against Dak at all. The defense just straight up didn't show up.
I think nobody showed up.
Yeah, I don't think Dak played good.
No,
I think that's another one.
It's not 100%. You can't blame it on Dak.
Right, and let's put that in the bad playoff game category, which I disagree with. But let's just put it there. That means we have 2 great games, 2 bad games, and 2 average games, which more or less just sums up Dak.
Yeah, which one you getting in the playoffs?
Right. So next one.
Tua.
Dak.
100% agree. I don't think Tua. If they pay Tua, it's going to be like a Daniel Jones thing.
Yeah, which again, I hold someone like Kyle Shanahan or Mike McDaniel in higher regard as a coach when they succeed in spite of their quarterback. Yeah. And I did the same for Dable. But once you pay that quarterback, you no longer get that luxury because you're
unless you make him better.
Right, but you're choosing to tie yourself to him. So if Tua ends up getting all this money and the Dolphins have that ceiling, it is now Mike McDaniel's fault. Whereas now, it's like, dude, with the limitations at quarterback, you're still doing this. Props to you.
Yeah.
It's, hey, dude, you tied him. You tied yourself to him. I don't win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You have no excuses. Yeah. Anyway, next.
I would like to say I kept the obvious names off this list. Like Mahomes, you're not taking Dak. Burrow, you're not taking Dak. Josh Allen, you're not taking Dak. I don't want to see that.
Burrow, I'm not. Allen, I'll have
Lamar,
an argument
you're not
with
taking Dak, are you? Or are you?
I'll have an argument with you about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you say, like, obvious that Burrow and Allen. Burrow has a huge injury thing. Allen has a huge turnover thing. And Dak's best year was better than theirs.
Yeah.
Burrow has delivered in the playoffs. So, I'll give you that. Allen has not. Allen has crazy upside. But I think there's, like, an argument there, in my opinion. I think there's an argument there.
The only reason I don't think there's an argument is, like you said, the upside of Josh. And in the playoffs,
although we say the upside, again, Dak's most recent year was better than Allen's best year.
I'm talking playoff upside.
But he's been awful in the playoffs. Like,
Josh
worse than
Allen?
Dak. Yeah.
No.
So he has
He's played good.
Had 2 great games. He had the Chiefs game, and he had the Pats game. But he also had the Dolphins game against Skylar Thompson where they almost lost.
Yes.
Then he had the game against the Bengals where they got blown out at home.
Against?
And then Joe Burrow, which I gave you, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
And then last year against the Chiefs, he didn't play great.
It was one of those average games.
Right.
It's
kind of similar to Dak.
I just
where there's
see that
great, there's bad, there's average.
But those bad games, he's won. So
not against the Bengals. And that's a testament to his team.
Yeah. No. I know, but he got to keep going on.
Yeah.
But
so that he could play awful.
I just think that his elite games looked way better than Dak's.
Look, I know it's an uphill argument that I'd be trying to make. But
I know what you're saying.
All right. So
what
do we got next?
We just said Tua, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Derek Carr. I'm just naming people.
Dak.
Okay. With a bullet?
With 2.
Okay.
With 2 bullets.
Aaron Rodgers.
Dak. Today?
Yes.
Obviously, all time Aaron's better. No. But look, Aaron Rodgers' most recent year, he played 17 games, had 3,700 yards. His touchdown-interception ratio was 26-12 with a 91 rating.
Yeah, but
and then he got hurt last year.
There's a difference in those, though. Those numbers are with his best receiver.
Jordan Love just took those same receivers,
but
and
they
beat
are
the
also
shit out of Dallas.
They are also a year older.
But they were still the youngest team to ever make the playoffs.
But the scheme is also different. With Aaron, their scheme was
But that's
run,
a detriment
run.
on Aaron.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the schemes were different. Rodgers last year he played wasn't great scheme wise.
I'd take Dak. Obviously, if you asked me 3 years ago, it'd be Aaron for sure.
He was an MVP.
Right,
okay,
I'd take Dak.
This one you're gonna love. Jalen Hurts.
Dak.
Can you tell the people why Jalen Hurts is decent?
Jalen Hurts is a bona fide running back. His number one thing that he does is a tush push. Why did the NFL not ban it? That's so annoying. Irregardless, Jalen's MVP year.
He won an MVP?
No,
he was second.
Right.
Okay.
But his MVP caliber year, he threw for 3,700 yards and had a 22-6 touchdown to interception ratio.
How much tush push touchdowns?
13. His rating was 101.5. You know what I call 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions? You know what that is?
That's Daniel Jones.
No, that's Dak Prescott as a rookie, except he had more touchdowns and less picks.
Yeah. He's not a great passer. He's a good runner, and he has elite receivers around him.
And I think
he's a merchant for that.
I think the Eagles messed up, man. I think he basically didn't start his first year because Wentz was there.
Yes.
His second year, he was an average at best quarterback. Second year starting, he was. People tried to talk themselves into saying he was elite, which fine. Let's go with that nonsense argument. He was elite year 2, and then year 3, he was awful.
Yeah, he shit the bed.
23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Led the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
I think that first year starting, third year starting is more of what Jalen Hurts is compared to second year starting, and they are paying him a lot of money.
Yes.
I think the Eagles messed that up. And I love it because they did the same thing with Wentz. Although they did the same thing with Wentz and then ended up retooling it and making another Super Bowl.
I do think he is better than Wentz, of course.
I think MVP. So the year Wentz was going to win the MVP and then tore his ACL and all that. I think that version of Wentz
was he elite?
Yeah, I think he was better than any version of Hurts ever.
Oh yes, but I'm saying that contract won't be as bad. Another person I forgot to say though when I was talking, people that I just didn't put on, Justin Herbert.
Really?
Yes.
But that's the talent of Justin Herbert. Agreed. The results of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but he's had Brandon Staley, dude.
Dak had Jason Garrett for a long time.
But we're talking right now.
And Mike McCarthy's no cup of tea either. He's one of the worst coaches in the league.
Yeah, you don't think he's not Brandon Staley though? He has a job.
No, Brandon Staley's pretty bad.
But we'll go next name. Justin Fields.
Dak.
This is our favorite, Brock Purdy.
Oh, Dak.
Yeah.
1 million with 87 bullets. Brock Purdy is the 17th or 18th best quarterback in the league.
Yes, and then last name on the list, Kyler. You had to know this was coming.
I love that you waited until the end. Dak,
of course,
for sure.
But so what's the percentage you're saying? Because I'm taking Kyler.
I would. The percentage?
Like 50-50.
There's not a single part of me that would prefer to have Kyler.
So, only reason that's hard to pick Kyler is we've not seen him really in the playoffs other than that 1 year where the team just fell apart.
Right.
We've seen Dak in the playoffs, but
along the same best year argument, Kyler's best year.
Okay, but he's more of a runner.
I don't like that in quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I know
his best year was 69.2.
Is 21?
Yeah. He played 14 games that year. So also he's an injury risk. which is not the sole reason I'm saying
Yeah,
Dak,
I know.
that is there. 69.2% completion percentage. Dak's is 69.5, so 0.3 better. Yards 3,787. Dak's is 4,516.
Yes.
Kyler's touchdown to interception ratio was 24-10. Dak's 36-9. So less
But
picks with more.
we added
Also,
the rushing. Let's add in the rushing.
I think he had 10 that year, so he'd be
Kyler,
at 34.
yeah.
So still.
Yeah, I know Dak's got
And
it.
Dak had 2 rushing
Dak's gonna
touchdowns.
put up
Dak would
numbers.
be at
We know
38.
this. Dak's elite at putting up numbers.
He is.
We know this.
What a solid guy. Kyler's rating was 100.6 and Dak's was 105.9. Also, Brandon, aka Tokyo, you can eat it up because I did research for this whole Dak Prescott segment, and your whole Dak Prescott throws picks. We all know Dak Prescott throws picks. You're a moron. Stop trying to talk football, Brandon. You're wrong. You're simply wrong. You know, Dak has 3 different years where he had 30 touchdowns with 10 or less picks.
Yeah, I know. I didn't agree with Brandon. You didn't hear me agree with him.
There's an argument that people can say, like, yeah, Dak is a stat merchant and that he's not actually that good.
Mm-hmm.
I can disagree, but listen to it.
Yes.
The argument that Dak is known for throwing picks, you either don't watch football, you're actively being a troll, put your hands together, or you're just an idiot.
I think
And
Brandon's,
then put your hands together.
I think
again.
Brandon's all for.
He's doesn't watch football. He's a troll. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
I like that. Good aim.
But so the difference with looking at numbers with Kyler and Dak is when that season was with Cliff and they were a dominant run team as well. That's why the passing numbers look like that. And like you said, Dak gets a lot of numbers. I don't like looking at numbers a whole lot with people that are that close. But I like the upside of Kyler. Could be a little bit of bias, but his upside, we saw he had 2 seasons in a row. Like you said, though, barring the injuries, he was the MVP favorite before the injuries.
Yeah.
So we've seen,
But
him
he
be
seems to
really
always
good
kind of dwindle at the end of the year, which is
after the
obviously a
injury.
problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
which
But that's part of he's 5'10", 5'11".
it's 10, yeah.
He's a small quarterback, which is a big reason I don't like Jaden Daniels. Right? It's just Jaden Daniels.
Is he small?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, he's tall, but he weighs.
Skinny? Oh yeah.
He weighs as much as I do.
Yeah. And also, I'm high on Kyler this year. I think he's gonna have a healthy season because this team. I think the coaching staff will help him be healthy. Don't think he'll be an MVP candidate because we showed in the draft we're gonna be a running team.
Right.
But I think he can be a playoff winning quarterback.
I always forget.
Under this scheme.
Is the quarterback or not quarterback? Is the coach you got from the Eagles the offensive one?
Defensive.
Or you're the defensive
Yes.
one. Okay.
So the top 5 defense to bottom
Right.
5 because he's gone.
Right.
But actually, I did forget a name. Shout out producer, Jameis Winston. It's Jameis, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's Jameis, guys. Jameis
No,
is the
it's
best.
not Jameis. I can't let that just live on the internet. It's Dak. Of course it's Dak.
But Jameis is like.
If you want to talk about someone who's known for throwing picks, Brandon, it's Jameis. Dude, Brandon actually pissed me off so bad when we were sitting in that party, and he just kept saying, he's known for throwing picks, Mason. You know he is.
He
just
didn't
say
know
it.
how bad Kenny Pickett was.
Kenny Pickett's really bad.
Kenny Pickett is what's his name? Zach Wilson bad.
Yeah.
He's bad. He's really bad.
Right. He never should have been a first round pick.
I think I would take Zach Wilson over Kenny Pickett. Just because Zach Wilson has more.
I mean, if those are your options,
I think
sell the team.
it's
You're
just,
done.
I think if I have those 2 options, Zach Wilson has more upside than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I think it's just the Steelers are a very well ran organization, and this could just be completely false. But I think the only reason they picked him is because he went to Pitt.
You think?
If he went to they liked him, but they talked themselves into loving him because he went to Pitt. If he went to UConn or just some random team, they wouldn't have. They would be like, yeah, he's okay, but we'll see if we can get him later.
Yeah, I don't think a quarterback should have went first round in that draft.
No, Kenny Pickett should not have been picked. But they learned their lesson. Also, Steelers, you should start Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is not good.
Oh,
is that all the names?
Yeah.
How many? I picked Dak in like
everything.
Almost all of them.
Let me go back.
I think Caleb.
So you picked him
Stroud.
other than Caleb, Stroud.
I think that's it. Caleb and Stroud, and then I even tried to argue for names you didn't even put on there.
which is crazy because Dak is not a top 7 quarterback.
I disagree.
But that's for.
I think last year
else.
he was the second
another
best
reason,
quarterback in the league.
Another reason I do not like numbers because Dak is a stat.
But I watch all of the Cowboy games. I watch every single game.
Dak is a great top 5 regular season quarterback. It's just in the playoffs I will pick other quarterbacks over him.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
but that's
I honestly am so over the Cowboys. I want Dak to leave, and in the perfect world, Dak leaves to the Niners because the Niners realize Purdy isn't good, and Dak goes and wins the Super Bowl and plays excellent in the playoffs. And the answer the whole time was, "Oh, look at that! He has one of the best."
You can't.
Best coaches in the league.
You
now
can't do that. No,
with
you
all
cannot.
this talent, and then
after saying that stuff about Purdy with all the talent around him, you can't say that.
But
Dak
we already
would be
know
different.
Dak is good. We don't know. We've never seen Dak. We've never seen Purdy without those things. We've seen Dak without those things and be good. So if having those things makes him great,
Now, if Purdy's good without those things, he's
that-
not.
He won't
but
be. But if he did,
is-
I'd have a lot of crow to eat. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna get paid? Like, how much do you think he will get paid, and by who?
If he repeats this year what he did last year, then some idiot out there will let him reset the market.
Who do you think it'll be?
Probably the Niners.
You think?
Probably.
With all their
If not them, then it'll be some low-life team like the Jets or the Giants or the Panthers, like some idiot team that is awful for a reason. And they're just poorly run. It'll be one of those teams.
Yeah, probably. I can tell you what team it won't be. The Cardinals. Nope.
It wouldn't be Dallas.
What if it was?
Dude. Put it in stone now. If Dallas pays Purdy something, I'm burning the jerseys and I'm moving on.
Where are you going to move?
I'm not moving anywhere. I've already said it.
Oh, yeah, you'll just stop.
I would choose to no longer be a Cowboys fan, but I would never choose another team. I'd just be a free agent for life.
I've showed that I won't choose another team.
Yeah, the Cardinals have put you through some dark days.
Dude, they just give... Every season they play good. They give hope and then suck at the end. Even the Carson Palmer days.
Yeah.
We should have gotten a chip with Palmer. There's no reason we shouldn't have.
The thing that was frustrating about the specific season where you guys beat the Packers and then got just mauled by the Panthers is the fact that it wasn't even close.
Well, I think a big reason it wasn't close is Tyrann Mathieu was a god that year, and he was injured for that game.
Oh.
And
you guys
Palmer
lose by like 30.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's solely because of that. I just think
Right.
that's a big part because they were going over the top all day, but that's for another day. I don't want to talk about that.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was the most fun I've had recording an episode. I like the new kind of fun segments we're doing.
It's not just talking about the playoffs.
Yeah, which we're able to do more now that there's less series going on.
Yeah.
Are you any closing remarks or closing statements?
No, every closing statement I've said so far has just been untrue. So I'm just going to leave it.
Knicks are 0-4 Pistons. I like that.
Anthony Edwards, superstar in a month.
No, superstar today.
No,
Best player in the world in a month.
No way.
Dude, Ant is my guy.
I love Ant.
I'm going out on the limb for him.
I'm just being honest.
You're being conservative.
Yeah, true.
So Ant is my guy. I'm claiming him. So I have Ant and Wemby. So you need to start claiming. You have Jaw. You claim Jaw.
I claimed Ant. I claimed
You don't
him
get
in
Ant.
the first episode.
No, dude.
I claimed him in the first episode.
You don't get to say, I love this guy, and then take all of his trophies away from him.
It was a hotel room.
It was a hotel. Dude, you don't even think he's a superstar yet. He can't be.
I do think he's a superstar. You just gave me 8 people.
That's all the hotel can carry. I don't make the rules.
What kind of hotel is it?
A Vegas one.
You do make the rules.
I don't make the rules.
Yes, you do.
I promise you I don't.
So you didn't make that graphic?
No, there's a committee involved.
Oh. I wasn't a part of this committee?
No.
Oh,
You're
okay.
one of the co-hosts. And Alex isn't a part of the committee either.
So is it just you, yourself, and you?
No, there's actually a group of 10 people. My vote counts as double, but that doesn't mean that I get to outvote everyone, and that's what we voted on.
I don't believe you at all.
I don't know what to tell you.
Anthony Edwards is a superstar. I just think that Shea deserves to be in there, and those old farts can leave in 2 years, and then the Ant can take over. That's crazy.
You're not going to put Ant in for 2 years.
No, I'm putting Ant in next year. I'm taking Steph or KD off next year. I just feel bad for them.
Ant's my guy.
Ant's also my guy.
He is only my guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I don't really think we have anything else. No. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment. This episode was much, much smoother outside of the breast cancer awareness thing that we got going on.
Too bad
back
it's
there.
not October. That would go hard. If
that
it
would
was.
go hard. But in October, we won't be able to recreate it because technology just hates us.
Will we? I feel like there's something wrong every week.
Well, this week at least it's just that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you next week.
Later.